Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I wanted to show you guys the really quick and simple design for if you need to make presents or gifts or just some quick inventory for in your booth using these super cute acrylic rose beads that you can also make out of polymer clay, which I'll pop a link to a tutorial showing you how to make your own out of polymer clay. Well, a larger version of this out of polymer clay, but yeah, let's get started. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make super cute little rose rings. You can honestly do them however you like. Sometimes they can come out a little bit wonky, but that's okay. It's more like freeform. Or you could be very careful to have it look very even and, symmetrical. In this one, I'm going to show you how to do the even and symmetrical. You'll want to give yourself a pretty generous amount of wire. It's nice to have more than you need to work with than not enough. There'll be lists of the tools and materials used in this tutorial down in the video description below. I'm using 20 gauge para wire. It's a dead soft copper core wire that's been silver plated and then covered in a silver enamel. It's super durable, hypoallergenic, it's not going to turn your finger green or anything like that. I also have wire snips, nylon jaw pliers, bent nose pliers, and round nose pliers. So I've cut, here we have about 17 inches of wire, and I wear around a size 9. So I'm just going to slide our bead to the center of the wire that we've cut. And I like to work a little large on the mandrel, because it's always easier for me to size a ring down than it is to size it up. So I'm just wrapping it. I want to make sure not to cross the wires. Like I don't want to wrap it like that because it inhibits my ability to adjust it later on. And you could do multiple wraps around our ring mandrel here, but I prefer a really thin band, like you can see on this one. I prefer a band that whenever I bend my fingers and move, it's not getting in the way. So bring in this wire across the top and this wire across the bottom. I'm going to zoom in for y'all. This follows along very closely with my simple wire ring tutorial, but with just a little bit of modification. This is an excellent design for carrying in the booth. A lot of people really like that fashion and style. So I'm just wrapping up very tightly around the side and then across the top, and then just around the side there. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Like I prefer to be stacked underneath as opposed to like layering on top. I just feel like it makes a cleaner finished product. I'm just bringing it around. So that's how it looks on the mandrel. I love this deep red of this, they're the little acrylic roses. And this is how it looks from the inside. So I'm actually going to take this and put a little bit of a bend in it. And that helps kind of guide it through as I bring it through the ring band to have a nice tight loop. They always want to cross here, so the ring wires do. So I'm going to go ahead and use my pliers to keep them side by side. Oops, throw it on the table. And I'm going to do, how many? Sorry, I don't know if I'm getting sick or what, but I've been coughing and I'm sucking on a cough drop and my nose is dripping. I guess it is winter. I mean, it's at the time of recording at least. So I apologize for sniffling and coughing in your ear. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. I'm going to leave it at that. So I've got 1, 2, 3 wraps around. So I'm going to come around to the other side. Get that little bit of a bend started. And then feed through. And I use my fingernail to really push it up in there and then cinch it around. Makes me feel like I get a nice tight connection of everything. Then I'm going to just pull it through one more time. Just like that. This is a perfect spot to try it on. So you want to make sure that it fits. Yeah, it's a little loose, but that's all right. So now from here, I'm actually going to slide this back onto our mandrel because it gives me a really nice working surface. And with the wire coming around this way, I'm just laying my finger on top to hold everything in place. And you can see quite firmly. And then I'm going to twist just like that. And it makes a tight little loop. And so now from there, I'm going to remove the ring mandrel. And I'm going to continue kind of pinning it down and wrapping, making a spiral. Just like that. And I've wrapped, and now I'm going to back up just a little bit. Grip this with my bent nose pliers, straighten it out just a touch, and then a little bit of a bend. So now wrap it around, bring it around, and trying my best to get the tips lined up. Like, you don't want to do it too far in and you don't want to do it too far out. It's like right there, I think. And experimentation will help you to know what your taste is. There we are. And I'm going to wrap that like this. And now I'm going to use the tail of this wire to wrap like that. So now we have a nice little leaf coming off the side of our rose. And you could snip this flush, or you could put a little spiral on there. I personally like little spirals because they're adorable and I love them. I'm going to give myself a full finger length from kind of lining this up on the crease of my finger and snipping. Grabbing the plier as close to the tip of the pliers and as close to the tip of the wire as I can. And just spiraling it in. Now from here, I'm going to take my bent nose and grip and kind of cinch it around and smush it down. So there we are, just like that. And now we get to do that same thing on the other side. Let's see how this works without using the ring mandrel. Because technically you could do this on just a wooden dowel, something that you have that's your own finger length or thickness. So yeah, I've just put my two fingers together and twist like that. Almost like itsy bitsy spider motion. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? If not, I'm just a crazy person, it's okay. So again, we've made that really little loop. The smaller and tighter you can make that loop initially, the better, I think. At least for making a tight spiral like this. Otherwise it'll come out quite loose looking. So there we go, just spiraling around some more. I'm really pinching. You can see the little indents it's leaving in my fingers. And I'm really gripping down on it. And I want our sides to be symmetrical. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to open up some. And coming in with our pliers, just like that. I'm going to do a little bend. Sound effects can be very helpful. Don't underestimate them. Helpful, but not necessary. Okay, so this one, I wish I'd given myself just a hair more length. And honestly, you could leave it at just that first wrap. That's what I did over here on this one. Just one single, as opposed to a double, but I like the increased shape of that one. So I'm going to come in again. Come out just a little bit. There we go. And bend. Whew, and I barely have enough space. Hush puppies, it's just the neighbors. Oh, barely, 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 barely. I wonder if that's actually enough. Okay, coming through. Really cinching with my pliers, trying desperately to get that tucked around. Ooh, I don't even know what that was. Ooh, okay. We had enough to go around, but not enough to make a spiral. So now you can either leave it like this, asymmetrical, or you can, decisions were made. You can come in and snip that little spiral off, smoosh it down, and now you have a rose ring. It's very nice on the sides, so I really like it like as a thumb ring where you can really see the different bits. And it's a little large on me, so I'm actually going to come in, reshape it just a little bit on the mandrel. But my favorite way of resizing rings, which just comes in super handy in the booth because I can make them to like a size 11 or 12 and then size them down to fit, I mean, however small as you want it to go. I'm just going to come in with my round nose pliers and grip like this. And I'm bracing it, and you can see I'm palm up. I'm going to rotate, bracing the wires to palm down. See that little squiggle that it made and how it made this wire shorter than that one? So I'm going to flip it over and do that same exact hand motion to the other side. Bracing the top wire. I mean, if you don't brace the top wire, it's just going to fold it. You want to give it that resistance there. Bringing it down. This is really nice because they get covered by the leaves. But this made it, like, I mean, super small. So then what we'll do from here is we actually just take it and slide it right back on to our ring mandrel. It's about a size 9. That's where I want it. There we are. A nice little rose ring, which this would kind of get tangled in your hair, and I've just made a habit out of not running my fingers through my hair whenever I'm wearing rings. But you could go through with like a 26 or a 28 gauge and kind of secure this down to the ring band if you would like, or you can take it and let me see if I have my mini majol near. I do. You can take a little jeweler's hammer and just kind of, that's why I love this metal ring mandrel, because you can see I'm kind of shaping it around. This work hardens the wire like a lot, so I wouldn't recommend doing it for rings that you're going to be adjusting and resizing for folks. And then if your wires start to go crazy and deviate away from each other, just get your pliers in there and set them back on course. There we are, guys. And so that way it kind of tapered it down and around a little bit. I think I'm going to wear this one. Oh, that's a much nicer fit. And then also, if you ever have any problems with your rings, like wriggling around on you, I put them on and then squeeze down on the sides, because you can see, at least with my fingers, they are not perfectly round. They are much more almost like rectangularly shaped, like flat on the sides, and everybody's hands are different too, but you can see that's how my rings like to sit, and that keeps it from wiggling around on me. So again, those are modifications that I make whenever it's going to be for me or for the person that I'm selling it to. These are how I carry them in the booth. But there we are, you guys. Super cute, pretty fast. They're much faster when I'm not talking through it. But there we go. Hey guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me during this tutorial. I hope that it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, I'd love hearing from you guys. My social media links are down below. You can post stuff to my wall on Facebook, or you can tag me on Instagram if you want to share pictures and stuff. Also, if you guys enjoy my free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, beyond just liking, sharing, and subscribing, please check me out on Patreon. There's, again, links down below, but pledges even just as little as $1 come in so helpful in, you know, just keeping these artisan education efforts going, our daily videos, and all sorts of stuff. We also do periodic giveaways, like once a week we do giveaways now, and then we also do craft crates, and all kinds of stuff is going on over on Patreon. You don't even have to pledge anything. Just have a Patreon account and follow us, and you can see behind the scenes, like, Patreon exclusive content that I don't post anywhere else on the internet. So kind of see what's happening when the camera's not rolling, and we still have pants on, like, kind of, but they're like yoga pants. But I don't know. We're professional adults, I promise. But no, yeah, happy crafting. I'll see y'all around. Bye.